Imagine you lend money to a friend, but they just can't pay you back. Now, imagine that friend is an entire country. That is sovereign default risk. It's the chance that a government fails to pay the interest or the original amount it borrowed. In the finance world, we often use this as a shortcut or a proxy to measure how risky it is to invest in a specific country. Generally, we split these defaults into two main buckets: foreign currency defaults and local currency defaults. First, let's talk about borrowing in someone else's money. This happens when a country borrows in a currency it doesn't control, like US dollars or euros. The big problem here, a country can't just print more US dollars to fix a budget hole. If they run out of foreign cash reserves, they have to default. Historically, this is the most common type of default. Take Greece in 2012, they defaulted on over $264 billion. Or look at Latin America, which has been the center of these events for the last 50 years. An interesting side note, countries are actually more likely to default on loans from banks than on money they raised by selling bonds to the public. Now, this is where it gets interesting. A local currency default is when a country defaults on debt issued in its own home money, like Russia defaulting on its own rubles. You might wonder, why would they do that? Can't they just print more money and pay the bill? Well, there are three big reasons why they don't. The gold standard. Historically, before 1971, many countries couldn't just print cash because they had to have physical gold to back it up. Shared currencies. If you use a shared currency like the euro, you don't have your own printing press. Greece found this out the hard way in 2015. The inflation trade-off. This is the big one. Printing massive amounts of money makes that money worthless. That's hyperinflation. Sometimes, a government decides it's actually less painful to just default than to trigger inflation that destroys the entire economy. The landscape is changing. We are seeing more concurrent defaults, where countries default on both foreign and local debt at the same time. In fact, between 1997 and 2007, about 42% of defaults involve both types.